But seriously, man, I don't know if I can actually contain my fury and rage in 15 minutes. So if you really want me to give a good 15-minute review of X-Men Apocalypse, I don't know if I can do it because I
Yeah.
am fucking pissed and I got some shit to say. And I don't know if I can cram it all in 15 minutes.
Well, I know there's a lot of things you can cram into 15 minutes.
Oh
So,
boy.
you know,
Wow.
five,
Where's my
five,
mic? I feel like I dropped the mic and start the show music, but I don't even have it queued. I expected that to go on for much longer. That was fucking fantastic. I'm not gonna lie. That was amazing, Ryan. You have inspired me to become a better podcaster with that mic drop moment.
yes. Well, hopefully the inspiration can last next time to where we actually have the show music ready. So,
Yeah, well, I don't know what that was. Hang on. I still don't have it ready. God damn
oh,
it. What is wrong? So
I
unprepared.
I think there's a lot of stuff we need to get
Why
figured
is it
out.
downloading songs?
No, oh, great.
Oh, Lord in
Eh,
heaven. You know what? Now I gotta actually look for it. Hang on. Do, do,
Well,
do,
eh,
do. Anyway, today on the show, guys, we have an amazing, I'm gonna say we have a mutant-tastic show for everybody.
yes, I think we could just skip the opening music. Not like we're getting paid for it.
No, but it
Or is
messes
it
with the
just on
music. I got it.
principle
I
now?
got it, man. Jeez, you just not
Uh,
even, don't
I'm just
ever,
trying to
blah.
trying to move this along. Sorry.
Whatever. Hey, everybody, welcome to the show. Time to start it. The show. Aw, fuck.
Shows.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, we them bad boys. Sip the game, yeah, yeah. C's, SSF, 40 aces. Let's go.
Boom. Look at that. Spotless. As
Yeah.
always.
That
On
was
time.
that was
Delivered. Boom.
just
Professionalism.
flawless.
Hashtagging it. This is my hashtag right
No,
there.
you hashtag flawless victory.
It's like a double X thing, kind of H. Man, whatever. Welcome everybody to episode 57. Boom! It's that many. I got 10 fingers and I ain't afraid to use them. Of the Geek Dad Report. The one show dedicated, formulated, specially created to tonight fucking raging about X-Men Apocalypse and also
Yes.
giving you all the news you need to know for the week that was behind you so that you can, I don't know, be the smartest guy at your fucking cubicle. I'm Brian West, your
And
not so humble, very wordy and angry host, and that is my beautiful, amazing, super awesome Philadelphia from the future co-host,
yeah.
Ryan Tomlinson.
Hello. And if anyone wonders why I'm trying to talk a little quieter, it's because my family is actually here now. And so I have the microphone right here next to
Oh
my mouth
man, that
outside the camera.
that brings
So,
back some memories.
so yep, I'm just trying to keep it quiet. So I don't want to wake everybody up.
What?
So,
I can't hear you. Speak into the
huh?
microphone. I want you to lay the microphone on your face. I want you to talk into it like this. I'm gonna
Just,
I
uh,
got
just
talk. There you go. Wow. Well, people, that is why we are a mature show because
Yes, we are adults.
we're fucking adults. Man, I've sworn a lot this show already. It's because I'm angry. Like we
Yes.
teased earlier, we have a action-packed show for you guys. We have a lot of news and some fun stuff to talk about, and then we have a spoiler, not spoiler, anger review of X-Men Apocalypse. That's right. Me and Ryan
Well,
decided to see this movie, and damn it if we don't regret it already. So actually, I don't regret it because it's going to be a great, great talking point for our show tonight.
well, it's mostly going to be Brian being really mad and me just kind of smiling and laughing and
Yeah,
nodding.
that's probably gonna
So,
happen. I'm gonna have to make sure I let you talk at other points so that way we can
yes,
you can get yours in.
when the steer dissipates from your ears, the steam starts coming
When
off.
it
So,
stops, when it turns as red as his hat. That's why I
yes.
wore a red hat tonight, people. All you YouTube, all your iTunesers. This is why you should be watching YouTube.
Yes.
I wore a
Oh,
red hat just so you can't see how red my face gets when I talk about this movie.
Well, and don't forget that Fox is also the reason why we don't have a sponsor this week. So
Well, yeah, Fox actually sponsored us because they're trying to promote their X-Men Apocalypse movie because it's currently tanking horribly at the box office for, an X-Men movie anyway. They gave us a whole bunch of money to talk wonderful things about it and let us see the movie, and we saw it, and we decided that we could not say anything good about it. So I guess that's a little bit of a spoiler for our review later tonight. But
yes,
after we told them what we thought of the movie, they immediately pulled our sponsorship and told us that we could not spend any of that money. So
yes,
we don't have a sponsor now.
but the joke's on them. We already spent it.
Yeah,
So
we already spent it, and
yeah,
considering we're both broke, good luck coming after us for money. Fuck you, Fox. Boom. Plus, the
yeah,
best part is now we can say whatever we want to, which is going to be.
yeah.
I'm not going to spoil it right now. We're going to
Well,
talk
I
about
mean,
it later.
they didn't like the whole part where we told them that that they did it all on purpose so that Marvel could buy them out. So
Yeah, there was something about bending over and an X, you know, a Wolverine claw right up the keister.
yes,
They didn't like that so much. Anyway, moving on. So,
yes,
Geek Dad Moment of the Week, Ryan. Your family has now officially joined you in Philadelphia. You are no longer a lonely bachelor hanging out in your
yes.
underwear. My
My son
condolences.
made me a whole bunch of bracelets. So
Nice.
and I got my Geek Dad moment of the week is like literally within the first 15 minutes of my kids being there, like, Dad, let's play some board games. Because, they love playing all the board games and stuff. We played, Catan Junior and stuff tonight. And we've been playing the Family Feud game and the new Electronic Life. So it's just fun having my kids back and being able to do all the nerdy stuff with them. So it's my Geek Dad moment. Got to do a lot of board games this week. So I've been catching up.
You can still talk. I know you've been waiting. You
Oh,
haven't had your family with you in like a
oh
whole
it,
month. So if you want to talk more, I'm just enjoying it.
no, yeah, and I see after that first 15 minutes, I said I was very lovely. Then something broke that they were playing with. And, I
Yeah.
have to deal with them yelling and fighting with each other. And it's like, oh, yeah, there's that part of parenting I forgot about as well. So,
It was so quiet while they were gone.
yeah, remember when they were so nice and then 20 minutes later they're punching each other and yelling and screaming and so yeah, it's also the dark side of parenthood that you just deal with. So,
Very good.
but
Well,
nice to have a family again and someone to come home to. So I appreciate that. But
yeah.
what about you? What's your you didn't ra
Um,
you had no raging before the show, which is usually a good sign.
yeah. Well,
So
my wife got off work at a normal time. All the last few weeks, if I've seen angry, it's because my wife has been working late every night for the last few weeks because of the holidays, because of Memorial Day. So it's been a challenge to get the kids fed and ready to go to their swim lessons and get the show set up and do all their show prep. And with this time zone thing, now it's much harder. We
yes,
have very little time for error, and I always tend to be the one who's late. So it puts a lot of stress on me. So by the time I get on the show, I'm ready to just punch things. But that being said, she was off work normal time tonight, so she was able to help with the kids, and we were able to very smoothly get this whole thing transition. So it was nice. I was ready to go, and I feel much more relaxed. And then I realized we were talking about X-Men. Anyway, my Geek Dad moment of the week. I haven't really had a lot of geeky moments with my kids the last couple weeks. Partly because it's been so nice here in Washington. We've been doing a lot of stuff outside. So, as much as I love geeky stuff, most geeky stuff takes place indoors.
well, I
So,
mean, you can still,
oh, you
yeah,
can talk about X-Men
yeah,
you can talk. Well, no, we can't talk about X-Men because we gotta keep this PG.
yes,
No, I mean you can talk about comic books, and I talk about that kind of things with my kids all the time, and about movies that are coming out, and we watch trailers, and my kids are fully indoctrinated in the geek nerd culture, and they both love it. Kind of as a sports dad moment of the week, I was pretty excited. Charlie, my youngest, she's 3.5. For anybody who's listening who doesn't know my youngest, she came up to me the other day and said, yeah, she is the serial killer in the family. She came up to me the other day and was was really upset. She's like, "Daddy, when's the Seahawks back on?" And I'm like, not for a while. She's like, "Why not? I want to watch the Seahawks right now." And I'm like, "Well, I think I got the Super Bowl DVD we can watch, but." You know, and so she didn't understand that the season hadn't started yet. She was very upset that they weren't on TV. So I was like, yes.
Well, you guys can always go down and watch the training camp or whatever.
No, they don't have open training camp. You don't get to you don't get to watch their practice until like August. I think is when they have their actual. Well, right now it's mini camps. I think training camp is in August. So, but that was kind of fun. The other just dad moment I had this week was. It should be called Old Dad Moment of the Week because we got a slip and slide, right? And it was like 95 degrees, which living in Washington is freaking hot.
This can only end well. This is only going to end well.
No, it's not bad. I mean, no one got hurt, but I think if you're one of my Facebook friends, my wife put a video up of me slip and sliding with the kids. We had a great time, and it was fun, and we were slip and sliding. There was a moment where I'm just like, oh man, this is clearly not designed for a man of my muscular size here. So the slip and slide we got, it's a 3-person slip and slide. It's got 3 lanes, and there's like this pillow at the very beginning. So you kind of hit it and then slide, so that way you're not taking the full impact on the ground.
Yeah.
And so, I'd slid and slid and slid. Well, then I decided I had to sit outside and dry it off, and I decided to do it again, but I wasn't wet. And so when I went to slide, the thing stuck to my chest, and the whole slip and slide slid all the way to the very end. Oh. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Or just
That's a good way to put it away. It's like, well, now it's all folded at the end. I meant to do that.
Daddy's fatness destroyed the fun time. No, so we put it back, and it was, but no, it was a lot of fun. But we played with the kids, and everything was good. But then I'm telling you, Monday morning I got up, and my entire abs from like right here down was so sore I could barely get out of bed. I was like, oh my god, I am so old. So I guess my geek dad moment of the week was just slipping sliding with my kids.
And lots of ibuprofen in them.
Oh, dude. Yeah, Monday morning at work was rough, man. It was a half a bottle of ibuprofen. If I could have drank on the job, I would have. It was definitely one of those days. But I guess from a geek perspective, another cool moment is my daughter is really apparently excited about Warcraft, the movie. So I'm going to take her to go see that. So I'm pretty stoked. But we have all these summer movies. I got to figure out what to watch. We got Ninja Turtles, Warcraft.
I'm surprised she didn't pick Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, well, she wants to see that too, so I'm not really sure. We don't have enough time in the day to go see all these movies, so we'll see. We're going on vacation at the end of the it's a little show note here. The last week of June, there will not be a new Geek Dad Report unless Ryan finds a substitute. Actually, you know what? I'm off on that Friday. We could record on Friday, I guess.
Can always do that.
I will be down in San Diego.
San Diego.
The whale's vagina. Going to SeaWorld. Going to see the whales before they free them.
Yes.
Anybody ask the whales if they want to be free? Nobody.
Are they actually freeing them?
No, I think they're just stopping. Well, I think they're going to stop.
Is it going to be like Free Willy? Like where they try and get to jump over the rocks and
dude, I'm going to bring a boombox and play that
and...
Michael Jackson song. Hold me like the River Jordan, and then I'm going to stand there while the whale jumps over me. But I feel like it'd probably just land on me and kill me immediately.
Yeah, there's
probably bad for the show.
Of it. So.
I'll make sure my wife records it, so it'll be my final. I'll wear a Geek Dad Report shirt and be like, woo! It'll be all slow motion, and the whale just splat. So ended Brian's West brilliant podcasting career. Dang.
Yes, we'll go viral.
Yeah, you know what? That'll definitely be our most watched show. I'll tell you that. Ryan, all we gotta do to be famous is one of us has to die. Probably me.
And I could just go on a murderous rampage to avenge
you know what? If you do that for the show, I won't talk to you anymore because I don't condone murder.
Just whales.
Oh, I thought you said just go on a whale of a murder spree. I was like, wow, just a big old murder spree. We here at the Geek Dad Report do not condone any acts of violence.
Yes, except against whales.
Wow. What are you, Japanese?
Yes. I love my sushi.
All right. Well, we've
rambled on.
Speaking of whales, we floundered long enough. I don't know if that's even correlates to each other.
I don't think whales even flounder.
Flounders and whales are both things that swim in the ocean.
We've slapped our tails against the top of the water.
Boom. You know, now I want to listen to Michael Jackson. All right, moving on. Speaking of Michael Jackson, sad news in the entertainment universe this week. Somebody died.
What does that got to do with Michael Jackson?
Well, he died at some point. So,
Oh, okay.
all right, that was pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie.
Well,
But you know what? Fuck it.
shitty.
I'm not ashamed of it. That was a great segue. No, honestly, sad news in the sports entertainment world. Boxing legend Muhammad Ali passed away this week at the age of 74, I believe. I have heard conflicting reports that he was 73. So he was either 73 or 74. Of course, I did read one article that said Will Smith had actually died. It said the actor who played Muhammad Ali died. I was like, well, I think they got their articles crossed.
Yes,
Their
just
information.
slightly.
You know, you're not
Well,
going to get
they're
information like
trying
that
to-
on the Geek Dad Report. You're going to get the real information.
Yes, like that Michael Jackson died and stuff
But
like that.
I believe he died from things relating to his what do you have? Was it Parkinson's he had?
Yeah, he had the same thing as Michael J. Fox. So
Yeah, so he had complications from Parkinson's, I believe, is what caused him to
yeah.
pass
Well,
on.
well, Parkinson's and getting punched in the head for way too long.
Yes, he. Anybody who's seen any interviews with Muhammad Ali knows that 73/4-year-old was looked like a man who was about 90, unfortunately. So
Yeah,
you get hit that many times in the face, unfortunately. That is probably going to be what happens to you. So a lot, he's beloved by everybody. Most commonly referred to as the greatest boxer of all time. He was a little before my time. I've seen clips of him fight. I mean, he did look like a good fighter, but I feel like a fighter like him, you can't really get the full impact of unless you watch him, like you grow up and watch him live.
yeah, I have very much agree with that. Like I've always had an interest in Muhammad Ali, but I think it's definitely like something that if you were a part of the actual experience, then it probably has a lot more impact.
Well, and what's
Oh.
weird for me is this week when Muhammad Ali did pass. I mean, obviously he's such a cultural icon as well as a sports icon that who Muhammad Ali is, and the
Yeah.
things he did during his stances during the Vietnam War and a lot of his social injustices that he was fighting against and things like that.
Went to prison for 3 freaking years.
Yeah, he went to
man.
prison. I
What,
mean,
what kind of sports athlete will give up 3 years to their prime for their own principles?
Yeah,
I mean,
and the man was a very principled guy. But honestly, his death, as sad as it was, really had no impact. I mean, it's funny, Muhammad Ali, for whatever reason, did not really impact my life the way that some of these other people had. So it was a little strange for me seeing so many people kind of relaying their stories and their feelings about Muhammad Ali, and I'm just like, I mean,
Huh.
now if Mike Tyson dies, I got some feelings about that, but I don't
Well,
know.
we
Kind
all
of before
know
my
that's-
time, and
Mike Tyson gonna get eaten by one of his tigers.
man, that would be the best way to go for his story. He'd just
Oh,
be like,
it was
and Mike
so-
Tyson knocked out 3 tigers and then was finally eaten by the 4th one. You're like, that's fitting. That's the way Mike Tyson should go out.
And then they released him to the wild.
No, I mean, obviously we are sad to see his pass. We can recognize that he was a legend and a role model for a lot of people, and the world for the most part is very sad at his passing. But for us in the Geek Dad Report, we say good luck, Godspeed, and may the force be with you.
Good luck.
Good luck, Godspeed, and may the force be with you. No, we're not making light. We just, for me, like I said, he just didn't really have even of a David Bowie or a Prince. Those guys, I grew up listening to their music. They had some impact on me, where Muhammad Ali just never really impacted my life. So,
Yeah, that's true.
but for everybody who did, sorry you guys, you lost a legend this last week.
Mm-hmm.
A legend that also passed and nobody talked about because Muhammad Ali died was MMA fighter Kimbo Slice. Also died this week, I believe, at the age of 42. So he was not very old. They have not announced yet why he died, but I mean, I'm sure you can probably draw your own
He
conclusions.
died from muscle overdose.
Yeah,
That
Kimbo
dude-
Slice was not a great MMA fighter, but he was well known for knocking out like 500 people in backyard barbecues. Is kind of what made him famous. So. If you don't know who Kimbo Slice is, just YouTube it. There's a lot of YouTube videos of him just knocking out random people.
Yeah,
Backyard.
if you don't know who Kimbo Slice is, you were definitely not around for MMA in the very beginning, in like the late 90s. When
No,
people
Kimbo Slice didn't
started-
come on the scene until recently.
Oh, really? I
Yeah,
thought it was.
he just started trying his luck at UFC a few years ago, and then just got like he won like one fight against nobody, and then just got knocked out, but just
I
bad.
thought I thought I remembered him from like early 2000. Maybe I'm
You
thinking
might
of
be thinking
someone
of
else.
another. There's a lot of MMA backstreet brawlers who decided to try their hand at
Well,
UFC and
MMA was like,
got
you
knocked
know,
out.
in the early 2000s, MMA was like pretty just freaking chaotic, and it was like it is not the structure that it is, the structure and money that it is now. So
Well, like a lot of people said with, well, we don't want to turn this into an MMA fight, but a lot of people, I remember when Kimbo Slice first came on the scene, everybody was like, he's knocked out 500 people. And everybody said, listen, it's easy, it's one thing to be the toughest guy at a backyard, barbecue. It's a lot different to be the toughest guy at a UFC ring. So,
yeah, true.
needless to say, he showed up and got beat up a lot, but unfortunately he did pass. So, as we said to Muhammad Ali, we'll say to Kimbo Slice, good luck, Godspeed, and may the force be with you.
Yes.
I feel like we should probably change. We need to come up with an actual, like,
Yeah, I don't think saying good luck.
well, considering nobody
Oh,
knows
well, they're gonna
what happens after you die, including people who think they know. Nobody knows.
Yes,
I think good
that's
luck
true.
is probably a good luck. Hope it's good.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Well, you know what? Godspeed and may the force be with you. How about that?
Yes,
I feel
that's
like
good.
that's good. We could come up with some like Spartans. Those who die will live forever in Valhalla. More like a Vikings, I guess.
That's more. Yeah, I was gonna say that's more Ragnar Lothbrok.
All right, whatever. Well, may the force be with you, Kimbo, and Muhammad Ali.
Yes.
With Muhammad Ali, clearly the much more important one,
Yes.
at least to most people. Let's see here. Moving on. Speaking of people who died, Passion of the Christ. Man, I am on a roll. I feel like we are gonna piss off Jesus, people who love Jesus, people who love Muhammad Ali, and people who love Kimbo Slice because,
Yes.
yeah, or at least I am. You're just laughing along with me, so I'm just gonna keep going here. Speaking of people who have died,
Yeah.
Passion of the Christ is
I
getting a
get to be
sequel.
the guy that like stands next to you when you do all these things. I can just either like roll my eyes and then everyone, just
Oh,
like,
well, Ryan, we're either gonna be famous or infamous. One of the two. I don't really give a shit which one at this point. You know what? Much respect for Muhammad Ali. Less respect for Kimbo Slice, and plenty
whatever
of
you
guess
get
respect
the
for a
Passion
guy
of the
who may
Christ.
or may not even lived in Jesus. So hey,
Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks, watch it, people. All his movies, they're all great. Anyway, what we're talking about is Passion of the Christ. Mel Gibson has come out and said that guess what? Passion of the Christ is getting a sequel. We know you've all been waiting for it. I mean, there's so much rich material though to continue on. I forget
Have you
that.
actually seen
What is this sequel
the
about,
original?
Ryan? I forget the name of this one.
the Zombie Jesus?
Zombie Jesus, yes. Passion of the Christ 2, Zombie Jesus is
Because I
coming
don't
out.
understand what he's trying to do. So
But I'm not really sure about this movie as a zombie pick because apparently the description says that
Well,
he comes
Mel
back to
Brooks
life,
is
but he's
busted.
not gonna eat brains. I'm not really sure about this.
Mel Brooks has gone off some rails. I mean, that guy's
I mean Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson.
Mel Brooks is still
Mel Brooks
at like
has always been
93,
around.
very in tune with what is awesome.
Oh, yes, very much. Mel Gibson, yes. Man, have you even seen the original?
No, because every person I ever talked to who watched Passion of the Christ said that watching that movie makes you feel like a worthless pile of crap. And you know what? I work for a big
You
corporation.
get that enough from your
I
wife?
already feel like a worthless pile of crap 5 days a week. I don't need to feel like a worthless pile of crap on my weekends when I
Yeah,
watch movies. So,
true.
hey, no. I don't need to watch torture porn, people. I'm not into watching my deities getting destroyed. So,
Yes.
anyway,
There-
I'm sure all the
there's
Christians will
that.
go see it. Passion of the Christ 2, it's coming out at some point.
We'll see if it even happens.
I feel like it's going to be much more uplifting if you follow the biblical story of Jesus' resurrection.
Yes.
Can't be any worse than getting crucified. Spoiler alert. Anybody hasn't seen Passion of the Christ. Alright, you know what? I'm going to spoil it. Dude gets nailed to a cross at the end and dies. Horrible death. Sorry. Sorry, Mel Gibson. There's going to be
I
3
was
people who
so
watch this
excited to
who
see
don't
that
watch
movie,
your
man.
Passion of the Christ now. But hey, also spoiler alert, he comes back as a zombie 3 days later. Anyway, that's coming out. I don't know when. I don't know who's starring in it. Probably Jim Caviezel again. His Person of Interest just got canceled, so I'm sure he's got.
I think he's just doing this to get attention. There's no
Probably.
way he's really making a sequel.
Well, I don't know. Everyone hates Mel Gibson in Hollywood, so I don't know. I mean, I guess he can finance.
Didn't
it
he
himself.
make like a few $billions?
I don't know about billions, but I know he financed The Passion of the Christ himself. So I mean, it was his movie, so he made all the money on it. So I'm sure he's.
Yeah.
I don't think he's hurting for cash.
Yeah.
Still got those
Definitely
Mad
not.
Max movies rolling in the royalties, so hey. Anyway, moving on to real deities. Superman is officially coming to the CW, people.
Yes, for the first 2 episodes of Supergirl,
Yep.
as she makes her CW debut. So that should be, and it's actually you get to see his face because like they've only shown him as like a CGI component
Yeah,
on
he's
the
been
show
in a
so
couple
far.
episodes of season 1 of Supergirl, but like you said, it's more of just a presence versus an actual
Yeah.
person.
Well, it's like him texting her.
Yeah,
And,
well, but he's going to be an actual person. They're casting somebody to play Superman. Personally, I hope they just go Tom Welling. Just complete the circle.
I think you should try out for it, Brian.
Think so?
Get Superman.
Dun, 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 dun. I'll do it. I'll even work out. I'll jog 6 miles over the next 3 months if I can be Superman. CW, I commit to that right now. I'll even do 72
Well-
push-ups and 116 sit-ups. I'll do it right now.
And they film in Vancouver, so
I
it's not
cannot
that
be
far.
worse than Nicolas Cage, and he almost got his own Superman movie. So
Very true.
I feel like I'm on. I feel like I should be number 1 right there on the list. Thank you, Ryan, for that. Plus Vancouver, like you said, is just right up that way. That's actually the sky, so it's probably not that way. It's actually that way.
Well, if you're Superman, it's
Yeah,
all
up
relative.
and away. Look
So,
at that. I'm already thinking outside the box, CW.
Yes.
And the best part is you can get me for literally $5. I will be Superman just to be Superman.
$5 in the catering fees. So
Hang out, craft services, hang out with like the Flash. Count me in.
yes,
Yeah,
Punch-
I'll send
punch
pictures of
Arrow.
me and me and Supergirl, the faithful 50 member Jeff, and he'll just be super jealous. Be like,
Mm.
anyway, moving on. Well, not quite moving on. Supergirl will be airing this fall on CW, and Superman is supposed to be in the first, I believe, 2 episodes of that show. So this obviously has big ramifications because Supergirl will be joining the quote-unquote Arrowverse, but considering how bad Arrow's been, it might be the Flashverse coming soon.
No,
But-
it's gonna be Flashpoint changing everything, and all the
So
shows are
excited.
gonna be
But
tied in the Flashpoint
Superman's coming, so
paradox.
clearly this means anybody can come. Hopefully, oh, that's what she said.
I want it to be Flashpoint Paradox, and I want it to be the shitty Superman that's been.
Yeah,
Hot.
and Thomas
That's
Wayne
been-
as Batman. I want that. I want that to
Yes.
happen immediately. But yes,
Well, they don't. I don't know. Do they plan on doing Batman?
probably
they-
not. But listen, CW, last thing I want to say about this, if you're listening to our show, which of course you are, I mean, why wouldn't you be?
Yeah.
But if you just say fuck it and bring Batman into it, just bring everybody from the DC because your DC universe is better than the movie one. So, I mean, clearly, I showed. I think on the website on Facebook we put it that Flashpoint Paradox trailer, that fan made trailer that mixed all the movies with Grant Gustin as Flash, and it was already better than pretty much anything I've seen in the movie.
Oh yeah, it was better than Justice League or Batman.
Damn
movie.
you, by the way, DC, for not giving us Grant Gustin in the movies. You guys are bastards. Ugh. I'm sure Ezra
No.
Miller would be fine, but I don't care.
Stop trying to. They totally separated the TV and movie universe.
Yeah,
So no hinting or anything whatsoever. They're completely separate entities.
And you know what?
so.
Stephen Amell and the Arrowcast have been very angry recently about. They've made a lot of comments, kind of a little off point here for a second, about how they're mad because the Suicide Squad all got killed on Arrow. They killed Amanda Waller. They keep killing. They killed Deathstroke. They killed all these characters and took away all the characters that Arrow was using, but like Flash and Supergirl can use Superman. And, it's unfortunately for Arrow really hurt some of their storytelling aspects of their show. They killed,
Yeah.
they took away all these things they built up for 3 seasons. And to their point, they're absolutely correct. You aren't using this CW universe in your movies, but yet you keep taking away all the things in the, from Arrow that you can't use because you're using them in the movies. Make up your mind, DC. You guys have great shows for the most part, and they're fun, and they're bringing some great stuff. So just go all in and just give us everything. I don't care. But anyway, we do have a long movie review that we want to talk about X-Men. So we have ran long.
Yeah.
So actually, these next few things, I think we'll just blow through unless you have any objections to that.
No. We'll see how long you ramble, though.
Really? You're gonna put this all on me? This is
I
clearly your
am.
fault. You are antagonizing me. You
The
are
news is
stoking the
always on you.
fires of my comedic genius.
All right,
And I
I'm
clearly
starting the
think highly of
timer.
myself. All right. Wow. Quit messing with our notes. Me and Ryan have shared notes, and he's fucking with them. He's throwing me off.
Highlighted.
Norman Reedus, may know him for as Daryl Dixon on The Walking Dead. He wants to play Ghost Rider, and me and Ryan think he should be able to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that would be awesome.
Yeah, the rumored Netflix is working on a Ghost Rider show, so if they are, hopefully they hear that he wants to do it, and they cast him, because that would be awesome.
Wait,
Destiny, a little video game
what
news.
does that have to do with Walking Dead, though? Is he the one who gets beat up with the bat and
See,
dies?
you talk about going forward, and you're like, so, Brian, what do you think about this, you dick? Look at you trying to set me
Okay,
up.
well, never mind then.
I know, I do not think it's him. I am very much in the Glenn gets the Lucille to the face camp, so we'll see. Let's see here. Destiny, Rise of Iron. The new expansion pack for Destiny comes out in September 20th.
20th.
And because I still play Destiny, because it's awesome, I'm very excited. Check out the trailer. There's a pretty sweet, 2-minute teaser from the expansion. And if you play Destiny, you'll know what Rise of Iron actually means. It focuses around the Iron Banner and stuff like that. It looks pretty awesome. Let's see. A little more other video game news. Oh, and that is coming to Xbox One and PlayStation 4. If you play Destiny on 360 or PlayStation 3, you are not getting this expansion. So I would say sorry, but those systems are super old, and quit being cheap and go buy some new systems.
Sorry.
Injustice 2 is finally coming out. Long rumor that it would be coming, and they just released a teaser. DC just released a teaser trailer for Injustice 2. If you're not familiar with the Injustice storyline, it's kind of a what-if, Superman went bad storyline, and it's a fighting game. It's a lot of fun. I have the first one, and me and my daughter played a lot. It's pretty cool combat, and I believe it's the same people who did Mortal Kombat, so kind of that same realm
Oh, that
of
sounds
combat.
good.
A lot of fun. Check it out. No release date on Injustice 2, but we are all excited that it's coming out. So check out those things. And if you're not playing Destiny, play Destiny. It's fun. Hit me up on Xbox Live. Let's see. John Boyega. Finn. Do I have a Finn? I had a Finn. Well, I don't have a Finn right now. So Finn from Star Wars has been cast in Pacific Rim 2. Me and Ryan are very excited about that. We love the first one.
Don't know what he's doing, but
I do.
it's
He's
good.
playing Idris Elba son in this. So obviously, spoiler alert, Idris died in the end of Pacific Rim 2 epically, like a boss with a nuclear bomb, and took out the kaiju. Love that movie. Anyway,
It's gonna be awesome.
John Boyega is awesome, and I'm really excited for Pacific Rim 2. So that is, I believe, starts shooting this next year. So hopefully we'll get that sooner than later. Justice League Dark, another thing that me and Ryan have actually talked a lot about that we hope gets made. Guess what? We knew all along DC watches the show, because guess what? They're making this into a movie, an animated movie. So this will be
animated.
Yeah, after The Killing Joke, I believe this is going to be the next one coming out. So no word on if it's rated R or whatever. It is a dark property that could be PG-13, but I feel like if The Killing Joke does very well when it comes out in August, that we may see more rated R movies, and I think Justice League Dark could be one that also is rated R.
And if you're going to San Diego Comic-Con, they're going to be world premiering The Killing Joke.
Yeah, when is that? Is that June or July? I think it's
June.
July. Is it June? Is it the end of this month?
Oh, you're right, July.
I think it's the first of next month. So there are also two. I'm not sure exactly what date. You can check out Fathom. Fathom Events is going to have The Killing Joke on screen for one night in theaters. So if you do want to go see Batman: The Killing Joke, apparently because of the movie's short running time, they are actually adding a lot of extras. They're doing a 15-minute Batgirl story, prequel story, and they're having a special behind-the-scenes documentary of Mark Hamill talking about the Joker and stuff like that they're going to put before and after the movie. So
Shit, I'd
Fathom
watch
Events,
it just for that.
yeah, it's I might check into it. Fathom Events is doing 2 screenings. I believe at 7:30 and at 10. I forget which night it is. I forgot to write it down. But if you Google it, I'm sure they'll pop up, and it's sometime in July, I believe. So ahead of the release date of August 2nd, which is my birthday. So if anybody wants to send me a present, I would love to get a Blu-ray copy of The Killing Joke. So hey, moving on. Game of Thrones, the greatest show ever created on TV, and it's so much better now that Ryan doesn't know what's happening.
Yes, sadly.
The last 2 episodes are going to be supersized of the season. So we are currently about to have episode 8 on Sunday, and then there will be 9 and 10. Episode 9 titled, spoiler alert, Battle of the Bastards. Take that as what you will. It's going to be 60 minutes long, a full 60 minutes. And the final episode, The Winds of Winter, which is an homage to the book 6 of the Song of Fire and Ice, is going to be 69 minutes long. So the longest episode, 69, party on! Party on, Wayne. Party on, Garth. It will be 69 minutes long, which is by far the longest episode of Game of Thrones. So, anybody who's watching that show, which is most of the world, we have a lot to look forward to.
Yes, my parents are watching it. And they're like super excited about every episode.
I cannot get my wife to watch it. She can't get over the vagina smoke monster and the brother and sister doing the. It's pretty gross. Not gonna lie.
It is gross.
Last little bit of thing about Game of Thrones. Apparently, one of the directors who directs a lot of the shows for Game of Thrones kind of let slip that apparently it is going to be a 7-episode season 7 next year. So the rumors of a shortened season 7 and 8 seem to be true. So that is sad news. But right now, fuck that shit. We're excited about the Battle of the Bastards.
Now, do you think it's going to be the Mountain against the Hound?
Krogager Bowl? Oh man, could be. I hope so. I'm thinking that's gonna happen.
Because what if they do that to make everyone think?
Well, I know. Episode 9, the Battle of the Bastards. Jon Snow. Kit Harington had said that they have an entire episode dedicated to a Jon Snow story. So it sounds like we're gonna get another Hard Home episode where the entire episode is just a Jon Snow fight scene episode.
I have no complaint.
Well, anybody who has watched what the last 3 was it 2 or 3 seasons where they had the battle at the Castle Black, which was an entire episode, and then they had Hard Home last year, which was an entire episode. The 1-hour Jon Snow specials are always amazing, and this one apparently is the largest battle ever shot for television. I am excited.
Yes.
The Battle of Winterfell, people.
It's gonna be awesome.
Bolton Ramsay is fucking going down because he's a son of a bitch. You heard it here first.
Just please let something happen to someone that we like. That's good.
Yeah,
that's all that we ask for.
Well, Arya looks like her I don't know, storyline's going to end this next week, so we'll see.
She's going to get hunted.
Well, at least her Bravos storyline sounds like it's going to end this week. I think the episode this week's called No One, so I'm guessing this is going to be a very Arya heavy episode. And you did not see the end of last week, so it's you need to finish last week's. All right. Last little bit of things we got for you guys. The Archer producer, the people who produce Archer has not been renewed yet, which is the fucking travesty because that is like one of the best shows ever.
Shame.
Yeah, and it ended on a cliffhanger. They don't know. People are asking them, "Hey, are you guys gonna get renewed?" I mean, they're gonna get renewed. Let's be honest here. But they asked them. The show producers were asked like, "Hey, well, if you guys don't get renewed, what's next? What would you guys like to do?" And they said they would love to do a live action movie starring Jon Hamm as Archer. So I approve of that.
Yeah, and I don't think there's anyone else that'd be a better fit, honestly.
No.
At least from a look standpoint.
I will say that I think an Archer movie would be difficult to do because of the way the show is, but I don't care. I would still go watch it. It'd be hilarious.
There's some stuff that it's funny when it's said by an animated character, but when it's the same thing said by a live action character.
It's just like, can you imagine a Family Guy movie? It would be awful.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be so terrible. But anyway, I don't care. I love all things Archer, and I would totally approve of that. Last thing we got for you guys is not really a news story. Just a trailer broke today, a poster and a trailer for a new Netflix series that I don't know about you, Ryan, but I had not heard of yet.
It's the first time I heard of it right before we recorded. So
yeah, we just watched the trailer. I'd heard later today. I'd seen a bunch of people talking about it on Netflix, kind of sharing the trailer and saying, "Ooh!" And so we watched the trailer for Stranger Things on Netflix. It comes out July 15th, and it looks fucking awesome.
Yeah, it looks like Stephen King, and
it looks like if you took the early '90s Castle Rock trilogy from Stephen King, combined them with E.T. and Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yeah.
That's what this show looks like.
So Stephen King, Steven Spielberg had a baby. This
Yeah.
is
The
essentially
show
what it
looks
would
like it's set in the 80s. It has a very 80s nostalgia vibe to it. And it almost looks like an X-Files episode. I don't know. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
Check out the trailer. I'll post it on Facebook when we get off the air tonight, and let us know what you think about it. I know I'm going to be watching it, so rest assured that me and Ryan will definitely be watching the pilot, and we will. Maybe we need our own just Netflix review show, since that seems to be what we review a lot of things on. But we will definitely watch the first episode and give you guys a review whether you should or shouldn't watch it. And but I feel like this is a show we're going to be binging very heavily on. So,
Oh yeah.
anyway.
I agree.
Yeah, all right, so check out the trailer and let us know what you think. And that is all the news we have. So if you guys have any news stories, as always, feel free to hit us up on our Facebook account at Geek Dad Report or our Twitter at Geek Dad Report. And share any news stories you have. Occasionally, we do get a few Faithful 50 members sending us things that we want to talk about. But if you have any of your own comments about anything we've talked about, that is where you can find our stories and where you can feel free to join the conversation. So, you know what? Normally we move on to our reviews, but because I don't want to go over time, we got about 20 minutes left and 3 things left to do. Why don't we go to our Faithful 50 and answer those questions really quick?
Okay, I was just gonna say that.
And then we
good
could go
call.
on full review mode because our recommendations will not take very long tonight.
Yes. So let's see, from the Facebook 50, we had a couple people. I think Jeff left us one, and good old Phil.
Yeah, good old Phil. Yeah, I'd like to say Faithful 50 members. Jeff and Phil, you guys are amazing as always. And Brian, I do know Brian has been moving. He reached out and told me that he was moving, so that's
no
why
excuses.
he hasn't won. But Chris, Faithful 50 member Chris from Utah and Chris from Washington, you guys have been slacking.
No, Chris from Washington and Evil Chris.
Yeah, that's true. Chris from Washington, Evil Chris, slacking heavily. All right. I know we count on you guys to make people think that we have a large audience, and you guys have been failing us. All right, first up, Jeff. Faithful Jeff. Phil, Faithful Jeff he's starting to gain rank on you, buddy.
I think Jeff is almost at like a lieutenant by this point.
Yeah, I mean, Phil, you're still a private first class. I mean, you want to get that second, I don't know Army terms, and I don't want to piss off any Army people. So if you want to get that next rank up, I've already pissed off all the Muhammad Ali, Kimbo Slice, and Jesus fans. I really also don't want to piss off the military. So
I'm sure we did something during the news too. So
yeah, we'll leave that one alone. Okay, so Jeff had a question. He says he was watching our show last week, and he was notice how I was talking about that Ballers was just okay. It wasn't great, but it was just okay, and I only watched it because of The Rock, which is also the reason why he watches it. He also thinks the same thing about Supergirl. It's not a great show, but he watches it because he's a big DC fan. He wants to know if there's any other shows that we can admit aren't good, but we keep coming back to watch.
I'll be honest that DC Legends of Tomorrow, I kind of gave up on it, like with about 5 episodes left. And when I had all this extra free time to myself, I just binge watch all the final 4 or 5 episodes.
Last couple episodes got better, but yeah, the show I only watched it because it's a DC
was all
show.
right. But I feel good that I watched it, just so at least I know about all the stuff that's going on with what CW is going to be trying to do.
Well, they have a lot of work for next year. It was not a great story this season.
Yeah, it was all right. And, but I only watched it just to say that I watched it, honestly. So
I'm kind of in the same vein as you. I'm going to say Arrow, man. Arrow has gotten so bad this season.
Yeah, I gave up. I could not even come back to it.
I don't really want to continue to watch it, but I will because, like you said, it's a DC show, and the first 2 seasons were so good, and I do like Stephen Amell that I hope they can gain back some of the, I don't know, the funness, at least the fun coolness that they had in the first 2 seasons. We will see if that actually happens. Most of the shows, though, I mean, that's about it. Fear the Walking Dead. I watched the first.
I watched the first 2 episodes of this season. I haven't seen any of the other ones.
Yeah, I've got them all recorded. I'm gonna try and watch it. Just maybe it gets better, but that's a show that's on the bubble. I'm about to not watch anymore. I used to watch a lot more shows. I know me and Ryan watched Faithfully Falling Skies. We used to review it on Watch Play Read, and by the end, that show was brutal to watch.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
Is there any Because usually this is when all like the crazy sci-fi shows
Yeah, I
and
was
stuff.
thinking about that, but all the shows that I did that got canceled. Like I watched Dominion
Yeah,
because I liked the movie, and that got canceled. I liked Heroes, that got canceled. I liked
there's a couple on Sci-Fi Channel that were pretty good.
Yeah. Da Vinci's Demons on Stars was kind of like that. I only finished it
Yeah,
because it was the last season, so I watched that. Gotham, I gave up on Gotham after the first season. I give
I
up
get.
on shows now. If they're not good after a season, I don't have. There's too much good content to
Yeah,
continue to watch bad shows.
very true.
So, but I will say Arrow. Arrow is my one show, and
Yeah,
Legends of Tomorrow is kind of my second show.
yeah, that was that.
It's funny we're on the
Too.
same page. That show was not great from week to week. It ended, I felt, on a strong note, but it was still not great.
Hmm.
Okay, let's
Thank you,
see
Jeff.
here. Phil. Oh, faithful First Lieutenant Phil. Or Private First Class Phil.
Hmm.
He's not going to let this down. He's going to say that we've promoted him.
Yes.
I'll let it be. I would like to give Phil a special Geek Dad Report shout out. I believe tomorrow is his birthday. So,
Happy
uh,
birthday, Phil.
happy birthday, Phil. One day, hopefully, if we ever make a lot of money and are famous, we'll do something cool for you.
Yeah, we'll let you be on the show.
Yeah, you can be on the show. We are looking for always more Geek Dad members.
Mhm.
Let's see here. A coworker bought him a 2-foot long Millennium Falcon for his son. Is it wrong that he doesn't want to give it to him?
Yes.
Yeah,
No.
no, it's not wrong.
Actually, I don't know. I
Only
don't think.
because then he tried. Here, listen, Phil. You don't need an excuse, but he wants to feel bad, not feel horrible for him. He says only because he always wanted one as a kid and didn't get one,
Mm,
and he knows his son's gonna trash it. Phil, I think
yeah.
you should keep it. Your son has not earned that. Your coworker will never know. You, my friend, have earned that.
You can go buy your son some shitty Millennium Falcon,
Plus,
like
you
a
need to
small
make
one.
sure.
And so that way, when your coworker's like, "Oh, hey, how's he like the Millennium Falcon?" It's like, "Oh, he fucking
Plus,
loves it.
as a
He
good
plays it
parent,
all
you
the
need to
time."
play with it thoroughly to make sure there's no small parts that break off or paint made in China.
Yeah. Well, and it's like Phil said, your kid's gonna break it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a question of if, it's just when.
I don't think there's anything wrong with you, and in fact, I think you'd be a bad parent to actually give it to your son.
Yes. So I think you put it up on a very high shelf.
Yeah.
They can look at it.
Go buy one of those. Go buy one of those superhero toy things, like where they're the toys, but they're condensed down to little kids size. Go get one of
Hmm.
those, like 15
Yeah.
bucks. Target.
There you go.
We
We just
support
solved the
Target.
problem.
We support Target, the Walmart you're not ashamed to shop at.
Yes. And you
Sponsored
can
by
pee
Target.
in the bathroom with anybody you want to.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't get me started on some jackass left a bomb in a Target bathroom. Fucking people, get a grip. Go pee wherever you want to. Who gives a shit? God. I pee in the bushes. Thank God I didn't have like a homeless person jump out and be like, "This is a female bush. How dare you?" I'd be like, "Oh, my bad." All right. That's a topic for another show.
Yes. Very
Anyway, all
much.
right. Moving on. So, everyone, thank you, everyone, for the questions. Phil and Jeff. I'm not going to say everyone because there's only 2 people tonight. So, thank you guys for your questions. We do appreciate them. Next week, guys, a whole new opportunity to leave us some new questions and ask us things that only we can answer.
Mhm.
So, feel free to do that on our Facebook or Twitter account, which nobody ever uses except for me, apparently. Whatever. It's all right. I won't Twitter shame you guys. Me and Ryan soon are coming to Snapchat. All right. Moving on to our best segment of the night. I'm calling that shit right now.
Are we going to do recommendations first? Or you want to still save
No,
that
we
for
can do
the-
recommendations last. We always do.
Okay.
So our recommendations
Well,
won't take but
are
more
we
than a
are
minute.
we going to call this a craptastic? Because I think everybody already knows.
Okay,
Go
so
here
we're
for
gonna
it.
call this. I'll do 2 edits. No.
We'll do a craptastic.
So
review.
this is a review, but me and Ryan decided to do a movie review of. Let me start that segue again because people, I do chop this up so I can air it later on its own separate YouTube because we gotta get every penny, people, every penny.
Yes. Every
Tonight, me and Ryan on Geek Dad Report have decided to review. I don't know. That was a terrible segue. I'm gonna do it one more time. Take 3, people. Here it comes. Tonight on Geek Dad Report Real Reviews, Ryan and I had a chance to watch a gem. A
Yes.
terrible gem of evil. If this is a gem, this is like the one ring that needs to be thrown into Mordor mountain lava pits. Okay, to Mount Mordor. This gem needs to be destroyed immediately. So anyway, this gem of a movie is X-Men Apocalypse. This is also, for the first time ever, not only a Geek Dad Real Review, this is also a Crapper Craptastic, because anybody who is familiar with what a Crapper Craptastic is, anything that gets less than a 50% on Rotten Tomatoes is eligible for Crapper Craptastic, where me and Ryan determine whether or not this movie really does deserve the crappy rating, or if this is actually a craptastic gem, a movie that was poorly reviewed but is actually a lot of fun. So this is a double feature review today, and as such, we are going to give a 2-minute spoiler-free review, because the good stuff comes after that, when we spoil the ever-loving shit out of this movie, and pretty much I'm just going to nerd rage. So in our spoiler-free review,
watch.
X-Men, I feel like I'm going to do a lot of talking in this segment, but, Ryan, this is definitely our segment, but
it's all right.
Here we go. So X-Men Apocalypse, I believe, is the 7th X-Men movie that is currently out there. It follows the it's a direct sequel to Days of Future Past. It follows those events after the X-Men somehow reset the timeline. I don't know how, because I watched Days of Future Past and still am not sure how Mystique saving the president happened to completely re-alter the entire timeline, but fuck it. Fox and Bryan Singer said it did, so I guess it did. This movie takes place about 10 years after those events. It takes place in the 80s, and it kind of wraps up the story of the first class in Days of Future Past cast, and introduces us, well, I guess reintroduces us to a whole new but not new cast of Jean Grey, Storm, Cyclops, Nightcrawler, all characters that have already been in the movies but now are being recasted with new actors so that Bryan Singer can continue on his shitty X-Men franchise.
And basically just trying to remake X-Men 2 over and over again. So.
Exactly. So this movie basically, it's hard to tell what it's about, because I wasn't really sure after watching it. Basically, Apocalypse is this alien X-Men mutant who has alien technology, maybe, who jumps bodies possibly, and he gets buried in the past in Egypt, and then he gets awoken later and decides he wants to destroy the world for no reason whatsoever.
Well, he wants to kill the humans.
Yep, he wants to kill all the humans, which is nothing like his comic book counterpart. And he decides to do that. He's going to recruit the 4 most powerful mutants he can find to be his 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. And so he proceeds to recruit the next 4 mutants he sees and just makes them the horsemen of his apocalypse. And then spends like 10 minutes like giving them like a makeover. That most of them are really not good anyway. I'm not really sure what's going on. Anyways, 4 horsemen are Magneto, Angel, Psylocke, and Storm.
Well, isn't he Archangel?
Well, yeah, he becomes Archangel. They don't really say it, but it's just, they say he's like an angel. He says, "Come to me, my winged angel." This movie's stupid. All right, that's what the movie's about. The X-Men have to fight him. Jennifer Lawrence is in it. She plays Jennifer Lawrence, I guess, because maybe Katniss Everdeen, because Mystique literally turns blue like 3 times this entire movie, and she uses her powers twice in the entire movie.
Because nobody wants to a producer paid all the money for Jennifer Lawrence. They didn't pay for Mystique.
Yeah, so I mean, this movie features a lot of crappy dialogue and things you just don't care about. I don't know. I didn't care about this movie. Well, okay, let me rephrase that. I did care about this movie. I wanted this to be good. I
wanted it to be watchable.
Okay, so I guess we'll get into that in our spoiler review. We're going to finish our spoiler-free part. Anyway, so the X-Men must all band together to fight the Apocalypse and
and that's it.
And the Horseman before he destroys the world. And somehow in the process, Professor X has to lose all his hair, and they have to transition this movie into a whole new set of new movies that come out later. So there you go. That is it. Me and Ryan, I'm not going to speak for Ryan. I'm going to say I thoroughly thought this movie sucked, and I give it a 1 out of 10.
I'm going to say that in all honesty, that about halfway through, I just left it running, and I answered a phone call, and I talked on the phone for like 10 minutes. And then just kept on watching it from that point. That was how much I really cared about the movie.
Okay, I'm not going to
So,
give it a 1 out of 10 because that just sounds like a bitter fan. I'm going to give it realistically a 5 out of 10. This movie was
yeah.
5 out of 10. It is, in my opinion, the worst X-Men movie that they've ever made. And I actually did like First Class, or not First Class, I love First Class. I liked X-Men 3 and X-Men Origin Wolverine better than this movie because at least that one had Hugh Jackman just being Hugh Jackman having fun. So
Yes. And it wasn't Hugh
Hi, Charlie.
Jackman had to get
My kids just
shoehorned
got
in
home.
because they needed to
Hi.
sell it. But I hated Hugh Jackman's in this movie.
Okay, so we're gonna get to spoilers now. So that is our review. If you don't want this movie to be spoiled, then please feel free to skip ahead.
Yeah, and watch Brian as his head moves
I
a lot.
suggest you watch this.
'Cause
I have
people are
7
coming.
minutes before the show's over, and I'm gonna use all 6 of those minutes to just rage. Okay, so you've been warned. We're gonna spoil this movie heavily for the next 5 minutes. So your chance to skip ahead is in 3, 2, 1. Fuck this movie. It's a big steaming pile of crap, okay? First of all, what the shit? This movie is stupid. Apocalypse is the worst villain I have ever seen in an X-Men movie. He makes no sense. The whole intro makes no sense. Ivan Ooze, everyone compared him to Ivan Ooze because he looked like him. Ivan Ooze would have been a better character. Ivan Ooze was a more fleshed out villain in the first Power Rangers movie than Apocalypse was. He looked like shit. His plan was stupid. His horsemen were dumb. And like I said, he's like, we gotta find the most powerful mutants. And then he just takes the first 4 he finds and turns them into the horsemen. Dumb. This movie didn't know whether it wanted to be a Magneto movie, a Jean Grey movie, a freaking First Class
Phoenix movie.
or a reboot of X-Men 1. Bryan Singer has no ability to direct fight scenes anymore. The CGI in this was iffy at best at times. There are so many moments when you can completely see the green screen behind him. It looked awful. Guess what? Only in a way that only Bryan Singer can fuck you. He decides that he's gonna give us all the things that we've wanted. This movie, I think the frustrating part for me as a fan is this movie was the closest to the 90s cartoon and the comic books of any of the previous X-Men, and he still managed to fuck it up. They have an entire Weapon X scene with Wolverine that feels so shoehorned in, it's almost laughable. They could not find a way to make it organic. They just let's just go out here for no reason whatsoever.
And Hugh Jackman just go around growling.
Yeah, and he totally looks out of shape. You could tell he wasn't ready yet for Wolverine because he's kind of flabby and stuff, which I don't really care because he's still awesome. But then guess what? It reminds you that Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, is the best thing about the Bryan Singer movies because after his 2 minutes on screen, you're like, wow, he's still better than this entire movie. Watching him cut people in half is infinitely better than anything else this crappy movie has to offer. And even that said, the whole scene feels ridiculous and completely unnecessary and unneeded. He says, guess what? Everybody said, you know what, Bryan Singer, we want you to give us the classic X-Men costume. So he does for 3 seconds at the very end of the movie. Instead, you know what we get? We get a bunch of really crappy costumes that they just find. Cyclops, they're about to hop on the ship that just magically is there after the whole Wolverine fake shoehorned in scene. And Cyclops goes, oh, look at all these flight suits. And they all happen to just fit, all of them, including a blue dude with the tail, form-fitting battle armor that looks ridiculous.
And Beast. Jean Grey, who's like a 16-year-old girl.
And the fight scene at the end against Apocalypse. Okay, the whole movie Apocalypse has these amazing powers that they never explain, but you know what? Who cares? It's Apocalypse. He's cutting people's heads off with sand and all kinds of cool shit. But all of a sudden at the end of the movie, he decides, one, to steal Professor X's power, which you're already going to destroy the Earth. What do you need his power for? But whatever. You decide you want his power. You decide to, at the middle of the fight scene, to try and steal his power and make yourself the most vulnerable, which of course backfires because, hey, Bryan Singer's an idiot. And 2, so Apocalypse comes out, and instead of doing any of his cool powers, he just stands in the middle and lets everybody shoot him and finally blow him up. And of course, well, let me rephrase that. Everyone can't blow him up because he's too powerful. So all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Jean Grey taps into her Dark Phoenix, which nobody knows about for the most part in the entire movie. And if you've never seen an X-Men movie, you have no idea what this was. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, she just turns into this fire phoenix and uses some power to obliterate Apocalypse and kill him.
It's just kind of disappointing because, like you said earlier, the comic book Apocalypse is freaking scary as hell.
Well, first it was Age of
And
Apocalypse, which this storyline follows not even remotely. Then they just changed it to X-Men Apocalypse. And I think for me, I guess why I'm so angry about this movie is that there is a good movie somewhere in this movie. There are some early scenes with Magneto that are amazing, where they introduce Magneto's new family and they actually give him
that part
something
was
to do.
sad.
And when they die, it's horror. You feel it. I mean,
Mm.
Michael Fassbender is an amazing actor, and you feel it. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they completely derail that storyline and then turn him into a horseman where he doesn't do anything. And he has no emotional attachment to the story. It just doesn't make any sense. They have this great cast, and they waste the entire cast. Jennifer Lawrence
The Quicksilver, and they really hyped up Quicksilver gets another big scene, and that scene was pretty cool.
it was
At
cool,
least.
but we'd already seen it for the most
Yeah,
part.
it was
And
basically just did what they did in the last movie, but longer.
And then they hyped up the fact that he was Magneto, that he finally acknowledges that he's Magneto's son. Something a lot of us fans were
Huh.
like, if you're going to have Quicksilver, make it, he's Magneto's kid. And so the whole movie, his whole motivation for even being in this movie is so that he can tell Magneto that he's his father. And then at the very end of the movie, when he gets the chance to tell him, he's just like, nah, maybe I'll save that for another time. You're like, what? I mean, Magneto, when he turns bad, of course he's good, then
Because
he
he
goes bad, then
lost
he goes
his
good
family.
again. Because of course Magneto does that in every single X-Men movie. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's cool, Magneto. Thanks for helping." Magneto had killed probably at this point 1 million people, like at
Easily.
least killed 1 million people in this movie, and everyone's just like, "Nah, no harm, no foul." Apocalypse didn't even like mind control people. Magneto was just mad because his family died, and it's like, what? It's just this movie makes no sense. It awkwardly tries to reboot the franchise, but also tell the end story to X-Men First Class. There's a lot of awkward inserts from First Class, like they chopped up parts of that movie and stuck it in this movie, and all it does for me is remind me of a much better movie. I mean, First Class was a great movie, and this movie doesn't even hold a candle to First Class, and it's just... There's a couple meta jokes that don't land. One where Jean Grey, they watch Return of the Jedi, and they're like, the third movie's never that good. Which is stupid because this is the third movie in the First Class trilogy. It just... Apocalypse is a horrible villain. He looks terrible. He has no real motivation. He's a completely two-dimensional character, which is sad because Apocalypse, if you've ever read an X-Men comic, is one of the best villains in X-Men.
Oh yeah,
You know,
he can do some fucking scary shit.
I will say, if there is one good thing about this movie, it is the fact that the new cast is actually really good. I really did like, can't remember her name, Sansa as Jean Grey. I
You
really
like
like the
Sansa
new.
Stark?
I really like the new Cyclops. They actually gave him something to do. Nightcrawler was great. So I mean, there is some hope, I guess, for at least the cast going forward. But I mean, they completely waste Fassbender. They completely waste McAvoy. Jennifer Lawrence, I like her as an actress for the most part, and I always thought Mystique was a weird choice to be the leader of the X-Men, which is what this movie kind of makes her. And
Well,
she just
she's the star now. I mean, they only did that because she's Jennifer Lawrence.
Well, exactly, and this movie feels that way. The action sequences are laughable for the most part. The special effects go from really good to awful in some scenes, which is inexcusable for nowadays. When you go from watching Captain America: Civil War's fight scenes to watching this movie, I felt like I was watching Daredevil from like 2001. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just that this movie would have been great had it been made 15 years ago. It's just, considering how great First Class was, and even though I had some big problems with Days of Future Past, overall it was still a good movie. To see how far it's fallen to X-Men Apocalypse, it was just, as a fan of X-Men, it was so beyond disappointing. I don't even... it got me to the point where I don't even know if I want to watch any more X-Men movies. I mean, it's just, I'm so disappointed as a fan, I just don't want to watch anymore.
Well, I know our good friendXifer, he said he's done.
Yeah,
He said he quit, and unless it goes back to Marvel Studios, he said he's done.
You know what? Bryan Singer and Fox completely waste a great cast who really aren't bad in this movie. They do their best with what they're given, but the script is terrible. It shows a complete lack of any respect or knowledge for the actual X-Men property and what makes those characters so great. This movie's a mess. The timeline's a mess. The fact that they keep trying to shoehorn everything into this X-Men universe that they've made, and an unwillingness to actually try something different. This movie is basically a remake of X-Men 1, X-Men 2, X-Men 3, that it's pointless. The whole movie is a hodgepodge of a bunch of cool scenes with terrible storytelling, good acting, but bad costume designs, bad CGI, bad flow. It's 2.5 hours, but it feels like it's 5. It's so boring. At times, it is unbearably boring.
And like I said earlier, I walked away from it for 15 minutes and feel like I didn't miss anything.
If you watch a comic book movie or an X-Men movie, the one thing you should never say, even in X-Men 3, I was never bored. You should never say, oh my god, this movie is boring and it's dragging on. Especially with as great of a cast as this movie had. Bryan Singer,
Olivia Munn as Psylocke.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about her.
Cool too.
She's completely underused. She has like 3 lines, and she's great as Psylocke for the screen she's given. It's just a mess. 2.5 hours. You didn't get nearly the character development you needed on any front. It's not a good movie. I did not enjoy it. I cannot recommend it. And I think that until Bryan Singer's gone and they get a whole new creative team making these movies, because Fox is not going to give up the rights anytime soon, but until they can completely redo the creative team, because at least Matthew Vaughn brought us something fun and exciting with First Class, I'm done watching X-Men. This movie, Age of Apocalypse, Apocalypse did kill one thing, my love for the X-Men on movies. And that is coming from a fan who owns, as much as I hate the X-Men universe in the movies, I own all the movies and I've watched them multiple times, but I am officially done. Anything that doesn't have Deadpool in it, I'm not watching anymore. Anyway, so
you're giving a crap or craptastic.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this a full-on shit burger. This is a shit sandwich smothered in shit.
Yes, I'm just gonna say it's crap.
Yeah, it's bad. I know there's some people who like it. I know my sister liked it. She posted on her Facebook page that she enjoyed it, so I'm sure she's going to watch this and probably call me. But I'm sorry, people. I am an enraged fan, and I can't take this shit no more.
Yes.
All right. Anyway, so we ran a little bit long, so we'll make this last bit quick. Weekly recommendation, what you should or shouldn't be wasting your time doing this weekend, Ryan? As always.
I'm going to say, because I don't think I've talked about it yet, is watch John Oliver on HBO. Last week tonight. If you want the great social commentary of what's been happening this last couple of years, watch his shows. It's amazing. The stuff and it's funny as hell. So last week he talked about debt companies and stuff like that. So it's good stuff. Definitely watch it. HBO. Brian,
I completely agree. Sunday nights at 11. And I, as a guy who tries to stay up in social things, there's things that even I didn't know about, like the whole thing going on in Puerto Rico right now. And if you don't know, you should find out and definitely watch Last Week Tonight on HBO.
And if you all like his big bets are free on YouTube.
All right, yeah, there you go.
So if you don't have HBO, you can watch all like the big huge bits.
YouTube, or I think they stream it on Facebook as well. So. All right, cool. Last Week Tonight, great show. My recommendation this week is the Disney classic Zootopia. Fantastic movie. If you have not watched, me and my daughter did here's a shameless plug. Me and my daughter did a Geek Dad Report real review, and I believe it's still our most watched,
our highest viewed.
Yeah, so give us a few more views and check it out. It is on our YouTube page. But great movie, a lot of social commentary. My only knock on this is a little more adult than most kids' movies are, so a lot of your kids may not understand some of the concepts in this, but it's actually a lot of fun and it's a good movie. So get it on Blu-ray. Came out on Tuesday, so pick it up. Get the DVD copy and the digital copy that you can watch on your Disney Anywhere app. So Zootopia, definitely worth buying and throwing. So on that note, you got anything else?
No, I gotta go.
All right. Well, everybody, thank you for joining us for episode 57, and
have a good week.
I give music to play, we'll see you guys next week.
Don't do drugs. Don't drink and drive.
Yeah. you know what? Special bonus 30 seconds, everybody. The Thanos oven mitt from Loot Crate got recalled. Apparently, you can't use it to pick up hot things. Just so you know, don't use it.
Don't use your Thanos.
Or you'll
oven
burn
mitt.
your shit.